Hey guys, today I want to share with you 5 of my favorite warm-up stretches that will help you feel prepared and ready to do your ballet class. So let's get into it. So the first thing I like to do every single morning, without a doubt, is work on my turnout. And the way that I do that is a few hip opening stretches that I will share with you right now. So the first stretch that I like to do to open my hips is just a simple butterfly stretch. And some of you may have more facility than I have, but I like to use it anyway because it really helps stretch out my lower back and my glutes. And so I like to start first with the heels together, big toes together, and just trying to go forward with my back straight and pressing my body down. And if you want, you can have a friend or a family member press down on your knees while you try to go forward, and that is a huge help for kind of getting really tight muscles just to release. So just staying there for a minute and breathing slowly every time you inhale and you exhale, you're gonna see that you're gonna have more range of motion, and you just have patience with yourself. And you sit there and you stretch. So how about we just stretch together, and I'll put a timer and we'll just go and stretch. It's really important to try to not bend like this. This isn't really helping anything. If I just arch my back, I'm really trying to move from my spine and go flat forward. So after you've done that stretch, assisted or unassisted, you could open your legs out a little bit wider, it's more advanced, into a diamond shape, and do the same thing and press your body forward, press forward. Sometimes if it's the first stretch of the day, you might hear a couple of pops in your hips. I know that happens to me every single morning. It's kind of crunchy. And you're just stretching the body forward and trying to open the hips. So after you've done that stretch, I like to do another stretch, which is kind of like a crisscross of your legs. So you put one leg, you fold one leg like this, and you fold the other one on top of it. And you try to put down your opposite hip, sit equally on both sides of your hip, and then the same thing, you're gonna press forward. And staying here and breathing, you can have a friend or family member press down on your back. Make sure that you're not cheating. It's really helpful to have a partner when you stretch. You can press forward. And you can twist. And twist to the other side. And then you can bring this leg up here like this to really release the lower back and hug it to yourself. And then switch over to the other side. Sometimes I like to sit and scroll Instagram or Facebook in this stretch because it's one of the ones that the longer that you sit in it, the easier and more released your hips go. So try to make sure that you're not up off of one. And this video, I wanted to share my things that aren't the greatest. So for me, it's really difficult to stretch my hips. I've always struggled with tighter hips naturally. And so I just wanted those of you out there who might feel discouraged, like, look, I'm a professional dancer and I don't have the best turnout in the whole world. So it's possible, you just have to work on it and it'll get better every single day. So yeah, those are my hip opening stretches that I love. And now we're gonna move into a little bit more advanced, getting you ready after you've opened your hips. Make sure you spend time in those stretches, even if it hurts, just breathe. So the next stretch we're gonna do is a lunge stretch, and this is kind of a progression. So first, I like to make sure that this knee is always staying at 90 degrees, and I like to tuck this hip under and then go forward. And then just stay up and make sure you're using your stomach, lifting it up, and then just using gravity and letting yourself go for time and setting a timer for 30 seconds, a minute, 2 minutes, whatever you need to kind of feel release there. You can add, if you want to be more advanced, bring your arms up, and that makes your body go a little bit deeper into the stretch. And then if you are wanting to warm your back up, you can start and arch your back. If you want, you can have a partner grab your elbows and help stretch you behind, and that's really good for the arabesque. So just staying here and stretching and going back and coming up when you've had a break, moving back down onto the knee. And as you can see already, there's like been some release in this hip flexor, and that's so helpful, especially if you've been having a lot of rehearsals. So I'm gonna repeat it to the other side so I don't feel wimmer jammed. So firstly, making sure that this hip is tucked under is actually gonna stretch out this quadricep muscle, which can get really, really tight, especially if you're doing a lot of running or jumping. Right now we're rehearsing feet in our theater, so I'm jumping a lot, and this muscle gets so tight. So I'm gonna make sure that I keep that 90-degree angle. First, I'm gonna support myself as I stretch and just kind of ease into it. And remember that one side is always gonna be a little bit tighter than the other side. For me, strangely enough, my right leg is tighter than my left leg. My extension is better on my left side than my right side, even though for most people it's different. Same progression, using the weight of the arms to just kind of release that hip flexor, and then taking a port de bras back. And I want to do a video, assisted stretch video, so you can see how, if you have a family member or friend to help you, how that can really increase your flexibility. Okay, so now that you've released your hip flexors and release your quads, the next stretch I like to do is splits or something for my hamstring. So we'll go and start. I'm gonna lay down on my back like so. I'm gonna bring one leg long out to the other side, and I'm gonna grab and slowly, really equally trying to focus on like keeping the hips equal, bring this and really just try to stretch and release this foot. And so you're gonna hold it and really just trying to like stay and breathe. Bring the leg closer to you. This is also another one that you can do assisted, which is super helpful. Right now I have the mic pack on my back, so I can't really take my foot closer to my face. I'm gonna show you with the other leg. Kind of hurts having a mic on the back. And the same thing, just really like not trying to cheat and bring the leg all the way up like this, really trying to be honest and keep the hip inside and work from the honest flexibility and keeping the hip square. And you're gonna see that actually working without cheating is gonna give you better results. Once you've done that stretch, you can move safely into your splits, really trying to close off the hip, and then stretching your port de bras back. And doing this port de bras back on your splits is actually really, really helpful for your arabesque. Recently I had a slipped disc in my back, which came from not doing the right kind of conditioning that I needed to be doing. And one of the things that I encountered with that slipped disc is I lost a lot of my back flexibility and a lot of my arabesque flexibility. So I've been really trying to work on getting my arabesque flexibility back. And so really I found one of the most helpful things is just doing a regular split and really having somebody support you from here and pulling you back. It will really help you get that range of motion in your arabesque. So just staying here and going back. For 10 seconds and coming up, and we're gonna do the other side. And going back. So stretching, and then and the last stretch that I like to do, that I have to start every single ballet class with, is a stretch for turnout, and I can't really find my fit position without it. So I put one of my legs here and I take my foot, and this is kind of a weird grip situation, so you kind of have to kind of like wave hello to the people here. Take your big toe joint and stretch it up. And this can be kind of painful, so you have to just bend your leg and stretch it, easing into it, really trying to not force anything. And this will really help increase your turnout. And if you have any more lower back pain still after doing all of those stretches for a minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, this really gets rid of it. So doing this a couple of times, bringing your leg out in front of you and bringing it forward, stretching forward, and then bringing the leg finally up here and also stretching forward. Really kind of opens the hip joint, and again, trying always to flatten the back. It really helps you get deeper into there. So just making sure you're equal on both sides. I'm gonna make sure I'm equal, so I'm gonna do the same thing, wave hello again, grabbing that big toe joint, supporting from the heel inside, and really just trying to work on that turnout with the straight back. So trying not to sit and scrunch, just sitting up and bending and stretching a couple of times, trying to bring the leg a little bit closer, and then bring the leg out in front, stretch forward, and bring the foot into a passe, exaggerated passe, and then stretching forward. For my friends who are advanced, you can kind of move into a full lotus pose here and kind of just stretch. And so that's it. Those are my favorite stretches that I have to do before class. Of course, there's more that you can do with lots of different props, but if you don't have anything and you're rushed for time, those are the 5 stretches that I highly recommend to do before your class. So I hope you guys like this video, and if you want more of this kind of content, just leave me a comment down below, and make sure you guys like and subscribe. I can't wait to see you again, and thanks for supporting my channel. Bye!